לחגוג אחדות, שמחה והרבה שלום. Are you ready? Let's go!
Jérusalem à Israël. Jérusalem, la capitale de l'humanité. Ta magnificence, symbole de l'unité. Jérusalem, עיר הבירה של האנושות, הפה שלה היא סמל האחדות. Tu es notre combat, oh oui tu verras, seulement ensemble, oui on le vaincra. Où que tu sois, viens danser avec moi. זאת המלחמה של האהבה, רק כולם יחד, כן ננצח. צריך אחדות, בואו נרקוד יחד, כולם עם אחד. Unity, unity brings peace in this world. כולם עם אחד. Unity, unity brings peace in this world. אם ספרדי או אשכנזי, דתי חילוני, עשיר או עני, זה לא משנה. שלום פיסלם. Jérusalem, la capitale de l'humanité. Ta magnificence, symbole de l'unité. Jérusalem, עיר הבירה של האנושות, הפה שלה היא סמל האחדות. Tu es notre combat, oh oui tu verras, seulement ensemble, oui on le vaincra. Où que tu sois, viens, viens danser avec moi. Viens danser avec moi. זאת המלחמה של האהבה, כולם ביחד. כי צריך אחדות, כולם ביחד. Unity, unity brings peace in this world. כולם ביחד. Unity, unity brings peace in this world.
ג'רוזלם, עיר הבירה, ירושלים.
Jerusalem, Irabira, Jerusalem. Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat. May God bless you. God be with you guys. How you guys are doing today? Welcome to Call Horeb, the sounds of Horeb to my channel. எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? உங்களுடைய வீக்கெண்ட் எப்படி போயிட்டு இருக்குது? I hope your weekend is really good and today is a little better, a little warmer, கொஞ்சம் வார்மா இருக்குதுங்க, நல்லா இருக்குது இன்னைக்கு, கொஞ்சம் பரவாயில்ல. நேத்தெல்லாம் சரியான குளிர். Yesterday it was so cold yesterday, but today it's much better than yesterday, and I'm enjoying this weekend. So hopefully you also enjoying your weekend. Let's dive into some of our topics that we were discussing for all these days. We were unpacking gospel, and we were unpacking especially Paul. And last time when we saw Paul, was on his way to Damascus, and we were discussing about who gave him the permission and so many other things. And also, we talked about Paul's ministry and Jesus' ministry was completely, totally different. Jesus was teaching something, and Paul was teaching something totally different than what Jesus taught. That's what we saw last time, folks. But this time, we'll still unpack some more thing about Paul. You all need to know this one definitely. And Nalla Gavanama Kelanga, please listen to me carefully. And before we start our subject, let me give my disclaimer for this uh, posting. Um, this posting, is not intended to hurt anyone individually, collectively, corporately. Um, you know, any pastor or any minister or any bishop or organization or any corporate. It is just simply based on my simple wisdom and simple knowledge. I won't even call it as a wisdom. I'm still learning a lot. This is simple knowledge, what I found after researching all these years and after, talking to people and studying so many things. And what I found, and I strongly believe after I searched everything, and I strongly agreed on so many things of what I searched, and that's why I'm coming to you guys and with the information that what I learned, what I studied, and what I received from so many other people. You take it or leave it, it's up to you. But this is my job to inform you, to alert you, to warn you that what you're doing is not right. What I'm saying is absolutely right. There's no change. One day or other, definitely you would come to know that whatever I said today will definitely come truthfully the other day when you are realizing that. Well, anyway, folks, let's move on to the subject matter. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்னா, what we're going to do today, that we are going to talk about Paul's trip to Damascus. Last time itself, we saw so many things about Paul was traveling to Damascus. We asked a question that who gave Paul's a permission to go to Damascus? Who gave the permission to him? I mean, he was a Pharisee, and he was claiming as a Pharisee, and he could where he got the permission from a Sadducees, and which is highly impossible for any Pharisees would on those days, because they were both kind of rivals each other. They don't like each other. I mean, they didn't like each other. So we don't know the details of how he gathered, and also Paul claims a lot of things that on his own, because what he thought, what Paul was thinking, that he is top of all the disciples because he met Jesus on the way, and then Jesus revealed him everything. Jesus taught him everything. So Paul never talked about Jesus, historical Jesus. He only talked about is resurrected Jesus. He never talked about historical Jesus in his old books. Almost he wrote 13 books. Out of 13 books, 7 books it was not written by him, and only 6 books were written by him, and 7 books were still in dilemma. No one knows that who was the other author who wrote the 7 books of what Paul wrote the other day, supposed to be, or we are just assuming that Paul wrote all those books. So, well, anyways, so in any of the books, all these 13 books, or in any of the books, Paul did never claimed about an historical Jesus. Paul's claim was only about the resurrected Jesus. Resurrected Jesus and transformation. I mean, the main thing is the transformation of the Jesus. It's not about the resurrected means with the same body things. And he was talking only about the resurrected with the complete body change. Think about these guys, because Paul, first of all, Paul starts writing these things in First Corinthians chapter 9, and then he told that Jesus was resurrected. And you know but when you see in the Gospels, the resurrected Jesus had a body, and he was talking to them, and he was eating with them, and completely human physical body. But Paul says that no, 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 the resurrected Jesus was completed transformation. It's totally, transformed. He wasn't having a physical body or anything. That's what the Paul's claim. But in Gospels, every Gospel claimed that Jesus rose, and he is gone. And also, even the proof of this, the resurrected body was a human being. He even went to the disciples and asked them to put their hands on him to check whether he was the same Jesus or not. We know that we knew already that doubtful Thomas was basically checking him with placing his hands on his palm, on Jesus' palm, and everything. So it was completely contradiction that Paul says that when we are, when we die, all the people, those who died in Christ, when Jesus Christ comes back, they will rise up from their dead. At the same time, who would be transformed? Those who were live people would be transformed into something different. See Paul's idea of transformation of some subject to some different format. So that's what Paul was describing. But in that Old Testament, they said that they were thinking about the real person. They've been with them, and Paul was trying to be top them out. Like, you know what? I am the head of all you guys. Something like that. He wanted to pose off, but it didn't happen in Jerusalem, and he came back. So having these backgrounds, we wanted to know why or how come Paul did never mention, or he never mentioned about the Jesus he met. He must describe about this one. Remember this, folks. If you're visiting a God on your own eyes, on your naked eyes, you would definitely describe how you saw the God, and what was his shape, and how he looked, and how the eyes looked like, how the nose looked like. You would be definitely telling that, or at least describing what you saw in that place, right? So, but Paul, look at this Paul. Paul never said anything about the physical body, or, about Jesus. He only talked about the light something, that's all it is. But on the other side of it, if you see a person, definitely you would describe. If the person is a 5.8 or 5.9, he was tall or he was short, he was dark or light color, he was having a curly hair or a straight hair, he was wearing glasses or not. So you can tell anything possibly, as long as you see that directly, and you can describe that whatever you saw, right? But whereas Paul, he saw Jesus, but he could not able to describe him. He could not able to tell him. All he said was it was a light, bright light. So it is the same in Rome and Greek and other cultures. So the western part of the world, and in Europe, it is what I can say that Paul and his resurrected Jesus, was with the body resurrection according to the four gospels. We can say, where it spread in almost in the Europe, they're claiming about the four gospels, how Jesus was resurrected with a bodily and he came and he ate something. He ate the fish and the bread, whatever. So not the bread. I'm sorry. He was eating the fish, which was been like a barbecued fish. So they think that it was complete, total bodily resurrection by Jesus. While Paul was describing something at complete, totally, it is a spiritual resurrection. The spirit goes up or the soul goes up, to the heavens, and it was not a body resurrection at all. That was a Paul thing. So let us think about this one. Forget about all these things. Let us think this one. You're going on the way, to Damascus, and then suddenly you receive a big, huge light, and there you saw Jesus. So how he would describe? He should describe. If Daniel saw in Daniel chapter 7, if you go there and you can read those things, Daniel chapter 7 and verse from 11, 13 and 14. You can read that how he describes. He says that I'm going to read it in Tamil. ராத்தரிசனங்களிலே நான் பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கையில் இதோ குமாரனுடைய சாயலான ஒருவர் வானத்து மேகங்களுடனே வந்தார். அவர் நீண்ட ஆயுசுள்ள இடம் மட்டும் வந்து அவர் சமீபத்திலே கொண்டு வரப்பட்டார். சகல ஜனங்களும் ஜாதியாரும் பாஷைக்காரரும் அவரையே சேவிக்கும்படி அவருக்கு கர்த்தத்துவம் மகிமைத்துவம் ராஜதேகமும் கொடுக்கப்பட்டது. அவருடைய கர்த்தத்துவம் நீங்க நித்திய கர்த்தத்துவம் அவருடைய ராஜ்யம் அழியாததுமா இருக்கும் என்று சொல்லி ஒரு டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் தரேன். But Paul, he never gave a description about Jesus Christ at all. I don't know why, but he was having something else. He only talked about Jesus like in a bright, shining light. That's all he saw. That's all he gave. He gave the what do you call the information. But whereas on the other side of it, like on the gospel side of it, it's totally different. Jesus was there talking with them, eating with them, doing everything with them. So it is absolutely, totally contradictory, because in Daniel chapter, that Daniel could explain whatever he dreamt. How about here? Why he could able to tell it? This is a problem, because at that time, Paul might have thought about this one, because it's going to be a worldwide web, or it's going to be spreading all across the world, and everybody is going to know about Jesus or something like that. Paul was thinking all these things. When he was spreading these things in the Europe and other places, and he was shocked to receive a question it was what is it? The question is that how and how did he realize that that was Jesus, and why you're not describing it? Whereas Daniel describing it in the chapters, how come you are not describing how you see was Jesus a 5.8 or 5.9 or 5.10? Was he a tall man? Was this hair was healthy longer? You can use the small things, whatever you talked with him, you saw him, and he was going to this place. You got to know how you have seen that. You should know at least how you saw, Jesus, and what was his shape and how tall he was. You got to know that, but which one was not done? It was not done exactly, Paul, he didn't write anything. He didn't give any information at all. So folks, what I'm trying to say again and again, I'm repeating to you guys. The book is totally influenced from the Old Testament. And you are taking their information and you're putting in your Bible and making it as your own Bible. That's what is happening there. And Apostle Paul is another one after Jesus. His first book was released maybe on AD 50s. I don't know anything about the other books, whatever it is. Whether that was the first book or not, I don't even know. The first thing that Paul was studying, or first book that he was writing or released at that time, I'm not sure, but that was from the the other part of the things. So Paul, when he wrote AD 50s, hello, yeah, when Paul wrote that in AD 50s, what happened, like when he had all the options, right? Um, he was moving with some of the Jewish people, and also he took every information from the what do you call, Septuagint, the book which was translated into Greek. So he was getting all the information from them, but sometimes it may take a little bit of doubt that how Paul knew all these things, why Paul didn't write certain things, because you know there are so many reasons or so many things that Paul was getting all the information, and that's why how he could able to you know uh, save his family, not in here USA, back home, with all the money, because one of the things that he was earning. So it was Paul's duty to find out how and who and how Jesus was and everything. Paul missed it. He doesn't want to say that because he didn't know that Jesus was there at the time. Even he was interested in all the other grains and stuff like that as a food item. That's what I can see that one. And other than that, you know, um, what I would say, regarding Paul, about his travel to um, Damascus, never discussed anything about Jesus Christ. இயேசு கிறிஸ்துவை பற்றி அவர் ஒரு விளக்கம் கூட தரலைங்க. தானியல் சாப்டர்ல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவ்வளோ அழகாக சொல்லியிருப்பார் தானியல், இயேசு அந்த ஒரு கடவுளை பார்த்ததை பற்றி, ஒரு மனுஷகுமாரனை பார்த்ததை பற்றி. ஆனால் பவுல் நேரடியாக பார்த்தேன்னு சொல்றாரு, ஆனால் அதை பற்றி அவர் எதுவுமே பேச மாட்டேங்கிறாரு. எப்படி இருந்தாரு, நீளமா இருந்தாரா, உயரமா இருந்தாரா, குள்ளமா இருந்தாரா, ஷார்ட்டா இருந்தாரா, நத்திங். He never described anything about these. All things you should think, why they are not telling it, why they are trying to do the same thing what it was done previously. So இதெல்லாம் these all things Paul was not telling. So this adds up to the doubt that Paul, he never met Jesus, number one. Even Paul wouldn't have gotten went into Jerusalem, that's for sure. He was um, but he wasn't getting along with all the disciples. He was always fighting, and there was a lot of things were going on with the disciples. And finally, Paul left the place and went into disciples. He never wanted to be with Jewish anymore. That's what the Paul situation. But even then, when anyone interprets wrongly, it's our responsibility to tell them that you are interpreting a wrong material. So that's our responsibility to inform them, even if it is an enemy or not enemy, doesn't matter. We got to do that. So folks, I'm telling to you, நான் போலை பற்றி அடிக்கடி பேசுகிறேன். இன்னும் புத்தகத்தை பற்றி இன்னும் நிறைய I'm in the only surfacing on top of the ocean. I need to more deep dive into the middle part of the ocean, and also I need to get into the dark web where nobody would come there and hack you out. So maybe if I go through all these websites and everything, probably I might bring something out. But I'm telling to you guys again and again, please, please take my word and go and research, go and find these many discrepancies, why it's happening in Christianity. Because everybody wants to be there, minister, everybody want to be the bishop, and everybody want to be, then everybody is going to be a bishop, an assistant bishop, who is going to work in the church, who is going to take out the church and all, there's a huge gap is there. But as ஊழியக்கார், what they'll do, what the ministers, they will decide what is supposed to be going, where it's supposed to be going on. They will do that. So, well, anyways, let's think about this one, folks. Please, one more time, finally, I'm giving you, go read, study. படிங்க. நீங்க படிக்க தான் உங்களுக்கு எல்லாமே விவரம் தெரியும். படிக்காத நீங்க மாத்திரம் யாரோ ஒருத்தர் சொல்றாருன்னு சொல்லிட்டு கதை கேட்டு நீங்க தயவுசெய்து போயிடாதீங்க. Okay? All right, folks, I'll come back with you tomorrow and another a simple title. Today, very simple. Why Paul didn't describe. He could have already described Jesus, but he didn't describe. Maybe he didn't see it because even the whole setup of the thing, it was uh, you know um, um, it was not even claimed by Paul. He didn't claim it correctly that he was traveling this and that. It was done by somebody else, and probably Luke, we don't know, but someone else did it, and then he became the victim there. But actually, maybe or may not be, I don't know how much Paul knew about Jesus. That is also there because he was getting the information from all these other people, not from him. When the Gamaliel was there, he didn't say that he was a student of Gamaliel, but other people say that he was a student of Gamaliel, right? So, folks, well, anyways, we'll get back tomorrow and discuss more about this one. Keep in mind that, you know, you can take, as long as, um, you know, what I can say, you are, as long as you are searching and researching, God, and as long as you're, truly and honestly, you are looking for God, definitely you will find the right one. Till then, it's just if you're putting a camouflage, hiding in some of the traditions, if you cannot come out, it's going to be a very big thing for you. And that's what I can give you. When I come back tomorrow, maybe we can talk more about this one. All right, folks, enjoy your evening. Take care. Maybe enjoy your morning. Take care. Bye bye. And I will talk to you soon. Maybe, I don't know, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe we can see. Okay. All right, guys. Take care. Bye bye. May God bless you and God be with you.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפץ הכל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפץ הכל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון